Let's talk with your host, Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, all right here. Oh, Simply Straight Talk.
Hey everybody, and welcome to an impromptu version of the Simply Straight Talk show, man. I'm not going to keep y'all real long today. As you know, our season is 16 shows. So after 16 shows, it's like a little bit of a break in there. And this time, I just said, you know what? Let me just do a little impromptu, which you can probably tell because when this show started off, it was pretty much the theme music. Then it went straight into, you guys hearing my voice, where normally there's a skit. And some people say a lot of people do like the skits. And the purpose of the skits it's sort of like a comedic way to kind of introduce the topic of the day for the show. So you'll hear a little banter going on between me and Angelique, or me and Melissa, or sometimes Melissa and Angelique. So, and people saying that, you're not going to work with Angelique. We don't hear her voice anymore and all this. Listen, everything is cool. Angelique has her own projects and things she's doing. But also I wanted to introduce another voice in there because I wanted to get it to where there was a different dynamic so people don't get tired of hearing the same voices. So, and also with each voice, you get like a different personality. So bringing another personality into the skits really works well. So that's why you've been hearing Melissa, who joined us, I want to say 3 or 4 shows ago. Melissa has been really helping out. And people really love Melissa as well. You know what I'm saying? And you can definitely tell the difference. Angelique has the accent as she's from London. And Melissa's from right here in the United States. So it's just really cool, man, to get those different personalities and different takes. Somebody asked who writes the skits. I write all of the skits. And once I write the skits, then I send them to look over to make everything is cool. Because as you know, some of the skits get a little bit vulgar. Well, not a lot, but, everybody's not comfortable with the topics that I'm going to talk about on the show. So I always let them see the skits first so they know what the topic is. And I explain to them what the topic is about. And, so they can be like, hey, look, I'm cool or I'm not cool. But I tell you what, with Angelique and Melissa, every skit that I've sent them, I've never had them come back and say, no, I don't like this, I won't do it. Because I think they understand what the show is about. The Simply Straight Talk show, man, is about positivity. And it's about talking about some of those tough subjects, those tough conversations. It's about some of the things you deal with in real life. With real life answers and responses. So it's not like how you go, how sometimes people will give you fake answers. Like when you talk about life problems, it's going to be okay. Hang in there. It's going to be all right. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just need to hear the truth, man, because sometimes it's hard. It really is hard. So that's what the show is about, man. It's about being honest and real with the conversation. And everything that I'm talking to you guys about, I do have some personal experience with. Sometimes I share, sometimes I don't. But normally I do share. But that's what it's about anyway. So, like I said, I enjoy doing the show. And yes, somebody asked, is there times when you get kickback or backlash on stuff? I think the biggest backlash I recently got was there's this guy called The Street Preacher on YouTube. And I saw his video. The first time I saw it, it was him going against, he was outside of one of Kirk Franklin's concerts. So I sort of did a response video. And in my video, I wasn't rude or coming at him crazy. I was just saying that, I think that when you approach somebody and you disagree with them, Christ had it away. And basically, I was telling them that when Jesus approached people, even people that were sinners, people that was vulgar and loud, Jesus didn't yell or scream. He spoke to them in love. He listened to them. You know what I'm saying? He just had the qualities that we need to embrace when we go to speak to somebody that we don't agree with their lifestyle or whatever. We need to adapt the way Jesus did it because it comes over better. and people are more willing to listen to you when you come to them in a manner of Christ versus yelling at somebody, talking about they going to hell and condemning them and all this type stuff. And just the way that he was doing it, I thought it was wrong. And a lot of people came at me, talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. And this guy trying to preach the word of God and you going against God. No, I'm not going against God. I'm going against his tactics. And people got really mad about that, man. I'm serious. I think on YouTube, it was like 500 or 600 comments about that. People saying that I was wrong and da. Anyway, I really didn't care because I don't mind debating you on something as long as you keep it respectful. Because I thought now, regardless of what you think about Kurt Franklin, those people coming in there were hearing the word of God and they was praising God basically. So, you can't knock him for that. And the other thing was Kurt Franklin actually came outside and spoke to the guy. Actually tried to have a conversation with him. But the guy was trying to get everybody to cheer like, yeah, down with Kurt Franklin. And he wasn't getting that. Kurt Franklin even invited him to come and speak to him after the show and to have a conversation. And the guy still was not very, he just wasn't pleasant. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing about that was sometimes the way you approach a person can really make them not hear you at all. And that's not saying that Kurt Franklin wasn't listening, but this guy is like, he says he wants people to turn from their wicked ways, but yet you're going to all these public things like Kurt Franklin. I want to say he went to Kenny Chesney. I know it was a country concert he went to, but if you really are like that, those people, why don't you go to like strip clubs? Why don't you go to, stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Adult movie theaters. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go down to the streets where the prostitutes are? You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like sometimes a person will use God in order to get a media grab or attention grab, and they're not really sincere about what they're doing. So anyway, yeah, long story short, that was pretty much what that was all about. So yeah, the dude came at me real sideways about that. But actually, he didn't even respond. It was all the people that was responding. And my issue with the people that was responding was like, how do you know him? You don't even know this dude. Y'all acting like y'all know this dude and y'all don't even know him. But anyway, so yeah, that was definitely one of the times I got a big backlash about something that I said. But other than that, I think because every time I do a show, I try to see both sides, but I try to end it on a positive note, which means, being honest, respectful. And that's a lot of stuff in life, man, is just knowing how to communicate. And a lot of us don't, because I did on my Instagram account, I did a post about that, man, about like people not knowing how to speak to people. And especially this happens on the job a lot, because I was at this one organization and the president of the organization actually came out and said that she heard one of the VPs, talking rude and disrespectful to somebody, in front of her. And then she said to herself, that makes me wonder if they treat this person like this in front of me, just imagine how they treat other people when I'm not around, and, sometimes a lot of these companies, man, these supervisors and managers will talk to you all kind of crazy. And I get it. You got some employees out there that deserve to be talked to crazy, because I have managed people. And if you have never managed anybody, let me tell you something, man, that is a tough thing. When you manage a group of people and you're dealing with different personalities, especially if you're the type of person that's like, listen, let's come in, let's do the job, let's do what we got to do, let's go home, get this check, do our 8, 10, 12, and call it a day. And you got some people where maybe the manager or supervisor before them was the buddy type. Like, oh, we're going to hang out and do our hair together and laugh and joke together. And we're going to come in and we're going to sit down and have lunch and talk together. They expect everybody to be like that. And, to me, it's all right to be cool and respectful with your coworkers. But as a manager or supervisor, you still got to sort of have that line like, I'm still your manager, because a lot of people, if you become too friendly with them, they will get to the point to where that line is blurred to them. When you tell them to do something, they do it with an attitude. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to separate the fact that, okay, we're at work now. So if they ask me to do something, I have to do it. Not sit here and get an attitude because they asked me to do something because I thought we were friends. No, it's work. So that's why I feel like you have to kind of draw that line sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? The work environment is the work environment. Another thing somebody asked me about was indirect discrimination. Now, I did a YouTube video on this. I didn't do a podcast show about this. But indirect discrimination, and I think a lot of people experience this, but they really don't realize it. But indirect discrimination is when your employer, which could be a manager or supervisor, uses the job in a way to make your work environment harder or make your task impossible. And basically, they are placing you at a disadvantage in the workplace. And you will have this happen. They will place you like, put it like this. Let me give you an example. I know what I'm saying, but it ain't coming right out my mouth. So let's say you're a supervisor, okay? And the manager is doing stuff like, he tells you that he wants everybody to keep track of everybody that comes in late. And every supervisor is responsible for documenting their team if they come in late. So, but say the manager doesn't like you. So what he'll do is, if your shift starts at, say, 10 o'clock, he'll make it so you come in at 11 o'clock. So you come in an hour after your shift. And then he'll ask you, why was this person late? And you're like, well, I didn't know because I come an hour late. But they'll try to say that you're insufficient in your duties. They'll make sure that they'll do things like they'll give you a work task, but don't give you all the resources. It's like, say you work midnights and they'll tell you, oh yeah, I need you to find out from the IT department about these phone lines or about these services. And it's like, it's midnight. Everybody's asleep. I can send an email. And they'll tell you like, oh, I need it by 8 o'clock in the morning. But you work midnights. You come in at 10. There are no ITs working. They don't respond to emails until they come in, which is when you go home and you go to bed because you've been up all night. So it's stuff like that. They do things like that to really make it difficult for you to succeed. And they try to create division. So indirect discrimination is when they use the job to attack you. Basically, they're using the job to retaliate against you. If you put in for leave, they might say, okay, I can't, like say you put in for a week off. They will give you like every other day off. Then they'll try to say, oh, it was scheduling. I couldn't afford it. It was scheduling. It was staffing. It's always a reason, and they use the job to retaliate against you. That's what I should have said in the beginning. But that's basically what it is. And you'll find that some employers will do that. They'll change your work hours. They'll change your schedule. They'll give you assignment and they'll give you the worst tools, or they'll give you resources that don't work, or they make you have to travel a further distance to get the resources you need. You know what I'm saying? So that's some of the things that people do when it's indirect discrimination. And a lot of people don't realize it. And somebody asked, well, how do you fight against indirect discrimination? It's very tough because what they do is they use the job as a weapon. Like I said, they'll say they couldn't approve this for you because of staffing. They change your hours because of this. But everything they're doing is really to retaliate against you, or really to make your work life and environment difficult. That's the purpose of everything they're doing. So you really have to document extremely well to show that what they're doing only affects you. So you can't just say, oh, I had to go and do this, or my schedule was changed. You got to make it clear as to, well, okay, he changed my schedules to these days and these days, and it was unnecessary. But you got to explain why. And that's the tough part, because they're always going to say it's the job. If they say they moved you to another shift because they were short-staffed, You have to be able to show why. Were you really short-staffed, which means you need to keep track of your schedule and the schedules for the other shifts. If you have like a company schedule that they print out where you can see everybody's schedule, you need to print that out. All that stuff comes into play. Indirect discrimination is so real. It's the new form of racism, is what I call it. It is. It's a very discriminatory practice. It's been around for years. And basically, I just believe that since there are laws against discrimination, indirect discrimination is the way a lot of employers, what they use to get around those laws by using the job itself. So that's basically it. I need to do a full thing on that one day and really get in depth into that. But, so that's one thing. Another thing was, why do I always talk about why I'm single? Because I'm single. I don't know how to answer that. I'm single, but I don't think, that was the question, but it was like a LOL type thing, but it was funny. But anyway, yeah, I'm single. It's not that I'm advertising myself, but I tried to make it so that people who are single and hear this, when I talk about topics or subjects related to being single, I want them to know that I can relate and that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm on the same page with them. I'm not this guy who's going home to this loving wife and got this good, loving relationship, just trying to make it seem like I understand what it is to be alone and single. I really do. I have been single for about, 5-6 years now. So, yeah, and it's for different reasons, man. Sometimes you just don't want to put up with the BS. But I think now in my more wiser years, is like anybody that comes into my life, I want it to be somebody who understands that we're doing something together. I don't want to get into the whole it's for convenience and just trying to get along anymore. I've been there, done that. I've been with women for looks because I thought looks made a difference. And as I'm older now, I understand. I want a woman that's going to be with me and for me, just like I'm going to be with her and for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for her. She down for me. You know what I'm saying? So how she treat me makes a big difference. A big difference. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely going to make it known that if we feel it, we vibing like that, then I'm going to treat her how she wants to be treated as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Who's my favorite celebrity? You know what? I'll be honest with you, man. I am celebrity burnt out. I am so done with celebrities because the more you start to really do topics and discussions on celebrities and you start to kind of look into them, then you come to realize, man, a lot of these celebrities are just fake, dude, and they are really just doing what's ever going to promote their brand. I'm sorry. You might hear or see them. Okay, put it like this. When you follow these celebrities on social media, most of them are only promoting stuff that's directly related to them. So if it's like some type of charity, it's something that's directly related to them, or they're trying to push their own brand. That's it. It's all about them. The clothes they wear is their clothing brand. Cologne they wear is their cologne brand. Their makeup brand. It's all about pushing them. So basically, the whole agenda behind their social media is to get you to buy into their image in order to buy their merchandise. That's it. You have very few celebrities out there that's actually trying to create content that's bringing real awareness, that's about unity, that's about love. Like I said, you got a few, but not many. But most of them, their whole agenda is to get you to be a consumer for their product. That's it. That is absolutely it. They care about nothing else. So, that's why I say I really don't have any favorite celebrities right now. But people that I do respect, I would say like Willie D. Even though he sells his merchandise, Willie D brings a lot of stuff to the attention of people, man. I mean, he really do. If you follow Willie D live, now Willie D used to be a rapper. He's a rapper who with the Ghetto Boys. If you follow Willie D, man, he brings a lot of stuff to the surface. I mean, that's a dude that I would say that when he speaks on something, he speaks the truth. Another dude I rock with, man, is Michael B. Jordan. Y'all know him from Killmonger. He recently did a movie with Jamie Foxx called Just Mercy. This dude is really about the community, man. So I got a lot of respect for Michael B. Jordan. And, you know, I see the stuff that he does, and not that he's trying to put it out there, but you can just tell that when Michael B. Jordan is actually interacting with people within the community, this dude, man, is doing it because he cares. You know, he's not out there just for show. He's not out there to sell clothing. He's doing it because he cares. And I'm like, man, you know, that brother makes me want to do more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what can I do? You know, I don't have his pockets. You know what I'm saying? But this dude gives up his time, man. And that is like so cool that he's that type of guy, man. And we need more brothers like him and Willie D in this world. So Viola Davis, you know, I love her. She's just real. Great actor, man. Love Viola Davis. What can you say? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's really about now, man, in my life, I'm more about like, there are things that I want to do for me that I want to accomplish. So I really don't try to imitate any celebrities. I really don't try to, you know, rock any boat with any celebrities or anything like that. You know, I'm just not that type of guy, man. I've always been like with the Batman complex. You know, y'all heard me and Angelique joke about that in the skit one time. But I really do have a Batman complex, man. Like, I could never be a part of a fraternity or organization because I'm just not with it. The club meetings and hanging out, and I'm just not that dude. You know what I'm saying? It's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that simple brother, man. I'm seriously with that Batman complex. I love helping people, but I'm not the type of dude that's going to be sitting. I ain't the type of one that's trying to run with the crowd all the time. That is just not me. But you know what? I just wanted to stop in and say hey to you guys, let y'all know that the Simply Straight Talk Show is still here. We still around. But y'all stay with us, man. We will be back. Like I said, we taking a short little break, but the shows are going to keep coming. And I'm hoping y'all enjoyed it, man. This is Reggie Maddox. Thank you for tuning in and listening right here on the Simply Straight Talk Show.
You've reached the end of another episode of the Simply Straight Talk Show. Connect with us at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to sign up to our newsletter and check out the New Life, New Mind blog at newlifenewmind.com. See you at the next episode.